Hey, what's up, guys? Elite says Gaming here, and today we're back with part 2 of Lifeline. Now, this one, Lifeline, Bloodline. When we left off, we were at the part where she was saying that she was going to go get a ribbon from a little girl named Leela Grace, as you can see right here. And she was saying how something was wrong, and she was talking about her family. So, let's start. So, we left off after I read it. It might have slid right by me. So I'm gonna say, was she a magic user too? The little girl? Not in the same way I am. Like, she didn't know the spells, didn't know the rituals. Had no idea there was this whole magical world just out of view of the rest of humanity. But there was no doubt in my mind she'd been in touch with something arcane, whether she understood it or not. I'm gonna say, what does that mean exactly? No, if you didn't watch the first video, you're probably not gonna understand what's going on. So what? She had the power but didn't know how to use it? That's just it. To this day, I'm not sure I could define it exactly. The word I've settled on after having had years to mull it over is haunted. I think that Leela somehow had gotten a look beyond the veil, a look at the lost souls swirling, unmoored in the quintessence, and that she'd brought just a little of it back to live inside her head. Did you try to help her? I mean, this is a good game so far. I just wish, we got to the action quicker, because this is kind of taking a while. But, it's cool. That'll make for more episodes of this. Since you understood magic, were you able to help her at all? I tried. When I ran away from Floodland, I broke a couple of other kids out with me. And even though Layla was way younger, I knew she was only going to slow me down. I begged her to come with me, pleaded with her, because I knew she wasn't going to get the help she needed there. I had no business being on my own, much less trying to take care of her. I was only a kid myself then, 11 years old, but I wanted to protect her if I could. Try to figure out her powers, what they were, and what they seemed to be taking. Oh, I'm so sorry, as I cannot read. I'm starting to get sick, but I'm trying. What they were and why they seemed to be taking such a toll on her. She sounds weird. I mean, she really does. She sounds really weird. Yeah, you're not kidding. She was weird. But I had spent all my life up to that point thinking I was the weirdo, So I sympathized. I wanted to help her. She was maybe 5 when she showed up there. 6 by the time I left. Hard to tell. Sometimes she seemed ancient. Sometimes she seemed ageless. When I think about her age, or how she talked, or how she carried herself, everything gets sort of jumbled in my memory. All I can tell you for sure is, when I asked her that final night to come with me, her response chilled me to my core. And guys, I'm sorry if I keep stopping, or just, can't read parts correctly. I have not been feeling good the past couple days. I'm really trying, but I'm gonna keep going. What did she say? I wish this would actually go faster. I thought I figured there would be an option to make this reading, the text go faster, but I guess not. She looked right at me, right through me, like I was meaningless, and she spoke no louder than a whisper, in a voice that I couldn't even be sure was hers. And she said, I can't leave Arika. Floodland is where I belong. It's where I've always been. It's where I'll always be. But no matter how far or how fast you run, you will always be here too. It does sound pretty creepy. And then she turned around and walked into the shadows, and I never saw her again. But you escaped. It doesn't matter what that weird kid said. You got out of there. I ran away, sure, but I don't know if I ever really escaped. Not all of me. I guess now that I'm headed back there, I'll find out for sure. You don't think she's still there? You said that was, 8 years ago? She can't still be there, can't she? You know, you know how, the Jedi Knights could sense other people that were powerful in the Force? I really don't. I hate Star Wars. I don't care if people get mad about that. I can't stand it. Or Professor X can roll into his cerebral room and find mutants all over the world. I don't like X-Men either. There's a little of that same sort of interconnectedness among mages. I can't, concentrate really hard and tell you, oh, there's a new magic user in Topeka. That once I've met a mage, a sort of invisible thread forms between us. And if I tug on that thread with my mind, I can figure out where the other end of it is. Leela's thread, it hasn't moved. Just like she promised. She's always been at Floodland. Why do you need her? Can't we just, kill her or something? The reason I need to get to her is this. When she admitted to Floodland, she was a foundling. Left at the doorstep with no note, no identification. She couldn't or wouldn't tell the sisters anything except her name. Who were the sisters? And she had a dark blue ribbon wound around her left arm and tied at her wrist. She never talked about it, never made reference to it, and never once took it off. And you want that ribbon? Why does she need the ribbon? Can't she just do what she needs to do? Right, you said at the outset you wanted a ribbon from an orphan girl. Let's not confuse want with need. I've got to have the ribbon, and then I've got to go get a key. Each one's useless without the other. But if we're being honest here, Elite XS, this stupid ribbon scares me half to death. I haven't been so freaked out by a piece of fabric since halftime at the 2004 Super Bowl. Wow, these references. This is a mission of last resort, and there's no sense in putting it off any longer. How dangerous could it be? I mean, yeah, really though, can't you just walk in and get it? You're getting a ribbon from a teenage girl. I'm sure you'll make it out alive. Spoken like someone who's never been to a doorbuster sale at a Claire's boutique. What are these references? I can't even... They could at least come up with some better references. Like, this script is really terrible. Here's the plan as I see it. The orphanage is maybe 35, 40 miles northwest of the woods where I am right now. I guess the quickest way to get out of there would be a series of warps and wefts. Short jumps, teleportations, in and out of the fabric of space-time, weaving my way to my destination. But that falls under the category of dark arts. That's a cost, and I'm not too excited about paying it. So I don't know, maybe I hotwire the next car I see, not so morally upstanding. The other options, I guess, are to hitchhike, which aren't safe, or walk, which would be something like 10 hours, assuming I don't collapse first. What do you think? Should I use magic or play it straight? I'm gonna say use magic. I mean, it's really faster. I mean, I want to see what the consequences are for that, because, you know. Yeah, okay, I'm not wild about dipping into the dark arts for this, but I guess, what's the point of being a mage if you don't use your powers now and then? It'd be like having a Lamborghini that you only drove to the corner and back. Alright, give me a second. Just gotta break out the old Swiss Army knife and carve a few little sigils into my fingers. You know, like the Swiss Army does. Arika is preparing. Alright guys, I have to wait, I guess. I didn't know this was part of this. So I guess while she's preparing, I'm gonna have to wait. So I will come back, see you guys when it's done preparing. Alright guys, we're back and Arika's done preparing. Okay, here goes nothing. This isn't some, Star Trek teleportation or whatever. It's not instantaneous. I'm gonna be ducking in and out of the real world for a couple minutes, appearing and disappearing. And there's a degree of pain involved, so I'll try to keep from screaming. I don't want to know what that would translate to on your end. But hey, this is definitely the fast way to get there, so yeah. See you on the other side. So now she's spellcasting, so, I'm gonna have to wait a little longer. So once again, I'll see you guys when she's done. Alright guys, we're back, and she's done spellcasting now. She said this. I'm not even gonna try to read that, because it's just gonna sound horrible. Hang on sec, just gonna throw up. Be right back. Arika is ill. My apologies, didn't mean to get melodramatic on you there. Some mages can warp and weft without getting sick all over the place. But it's because they've done it so often that something inside them just dies. I never want to end up like that, numb to the cost. Except in those couple of minutes after a jump, when it feels like I'm vomiting up every meal I've ever eaten. You gonna be alright. I honestly don't care, but Yeah, yes. I'll be okay in a minute, thanks. It's just, after a jump, I feel a lot like Jeff Goldblum in The Fly. Or a lot like The Fly in The Fly, if the other way sounds like I'm bragging. So teleporting turned you dark. See, these references. I don't know what The Fly is. I don't know who Jeff Goldblum is. So what would be the consequences of you embracing that dark side? Think of magic as a coin with two sides. It sounds simplistic, but bear with me. As a mage, you're constantly spending that coin, because every spell has a cost. Me and my family, my whole lineage, we practice blood magic. It's not too hard to look at my scars and figure out what my cost is. When a mage goes dark, though, it's so much worse. Worse than all those scars. When you start playing around with the dark arts, that's when you're digging deep. I wish this thing would load faster still. Cutting open new wounds before the old ones even start to heal. Spending more of that coin than you have. Swearing you'll pay it back, but knowing you never will. That's the thing about magic, though. It balances its own scales. It takes its share. And if you can't cover the price, it'll take it out of someone else. Someone you care about. This is starting to get dark. This is going to be like Sarah's missing again. Just all this cult stuff. That's why I've spent the last few months shedding friends, cutting ties, going it alone. And that's what makes me scared. Because apart from my brother out there in the void, the only someone I care about anymore is you. Alright then. Magic isn't gonna hurt me. Famous last words. If you're lucky, you might never feel it going to work on you. 1,000 paper cuts spread out over 50 years, so you barely even notice. But if you're not lucky what? Bones break, buildings crumble. You step off the wrong curb and bam, that's all she wrote. Even at its kindest, magic can be unforgivably cruel. And the thought of bringing any of that cruelty down on you will lead into this. When all you did was keep talking to a nervous girl who'd screwed up on a spell. It hurts my heart. And I want to do whatever I can to prevent it. So just don't go dark. I mean, I guess it's not that simple, but sounds like the easiest solution is just not to practice dark magic. Yeah, well, I don't want to hurt you. But also, I'm not going to stop at anything if I have a chance at saving my brother. So, you can see where I'm at a bit of a crossroads. Dark magic, light magic wise. But hey, it's like people try to tell me when I've got resting. Cheer up, it might never happen. I can barely read today. It's actually bothering me because I don't feel well. How kind of them. Isn't it? I generally find a way to salute them for taking an interest. Alright, no more putting this off. I've just got to go back into Floodland and find out just how bad things have gotten. Up the driveway, toward the front door, one foot in front of the other. You can do this. You can do this. Arika is busy. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and end the video there. Before you leave, smash that like button and subscribe. And shout out to my man, Nickname Kringle. His channel, he's a brand new channel. Go subscribe to him. I'll leave a link to his channel in the description. So go sub to him.